Hello and welcome to section 9, which also happens to be the start to part 2. In part 2, we're going to be building a completely new application from the ground up. This is the Expense Manager Expensify. Now this is definitely the more exciting of the two applications since it has all of those real features you'd expect. It has client-side routing, so we can have multiple pages. We're going to integrate a database as well as user accounts and authentication, and we'll also be deploying this one live to the web. So you'll have a real URL that you can give out to anybody and they'll actually be able to log in and use your app. So this expense manager does require users to log in order to actually create expenses. Once they're in, they'll be able to view all of their expenses, and then obviously they can filter or sort as needed. We're going to be using third-party tools to set up things like a date picker. I can also create a new expense, adding in all of the necessary fields, and we'll also talk about how we can add a little more form validation in. Obviously, users will also be able to edit existing expenses, and they'll be able to remove them should they like. Now, when we actually build this project, we're going to be exploring a lot more stuff that's not part of React Core. And we're going to kick things off by talking about React Router, which is the library that we're going to be using to add client-side routing into the mix. That is exactly what we're going to be covering in this section. So let's kick things off in the next video, where I'd like to talk about the differences between server-side routing and client-side routing. Let's go ahead and dive right in.